It's the final day of group play here in the International Cup, and the United States Elite Squad set to go toe-to-toe with the world's #1, Japan. Just like the Elite team, unbeaten through 2 days. The standings will undoubtedly change tonight, though, here at Devon Park. Ryan Breeden and Mason Humpter coming to you live from the softball capital of the world, and we have a great matchup today with a lot on the line, Mason.
Yeah, Ryan, whoever ends up losing this one is going to have a hot date tomorrow with the U.S. national team. And whoever wins is going to be taking on Canada in that knockout round. But hey, let's keep it right here, one game at a time. An incredible matchup here tonight.
Yeah, you've got the world #1 in Japan on the other side, obviously still holding on to that gold medal from the 2021 Olympics. And without a doubt, this U.S. team going to be looking to snatch that back right here at Devon Park behind us 2 years from now in the 2028 Olympics. But it's going to have some targets on their back for this Japan team, and this U.S. team not going to be fazed by the experience, the age of this Japan team, and especially considering what they did yesterday, Mason, which was go out and make a statement against American Samoa.
Yeah, it was a fun day here at the ballpark. Let's take a look at it. It started off with Morgan Zirkle. Zirkules at the wall and gone. Then Alina Garcia coming up with a bases-clearing double to put up some more runs. But hey, American Samoa not going down without a fight. Good piece of hitting by them to score 3 runs in that inning consecutively. But then again, Morgan Zirkle coming up to bat and putting this thing away in 5 innings.
Yeah, so a big change as opposed to what it did against Chinese Taipei. The offense getting started early and often. It started with that 5-run second inning. Morgan Zirkle leading the way, hitting for 3 legs of the cycle and a team-high 5 RBI. And so we'll see if that confidence can go into this game here tonight. A very different beast on the other side of this with the #1 team in the world in the Japan national team. And that's right here for you guys on ESPN+. The final game of the group stage of the International Cup, and it's coming to you live, and we'll have starting lineups after this. We'll introduce you to the Japanese pitcher because they will be the home team, and the Elite Squad offense will come up first as well. We'll introduce you to all of them when we come back. This is the International Cup presented by Mercy. We'll see you guys here after this break. It's time for the final game of group play here in the International Cup 2026 for the first time in 7 years. This amazing event being played right here in the softball capital of the world. And who else but the world's #1 on the opposite side of the U.S. Elite team, led by Miyu Goto here today, the young prodigy for Japan. Mason, this is going to be a tough test for this Elite squad.
It sure is. You know, she's powering and just going right at you. Not a whole lot of finesse, just straight at you. seeing what you can do with it. A power left-hander with elite international experience, works vertically and can create difficult angles for right-handed hitters, and uses velocity and movement rather than relying on finesse.
Yeah, she's going to be a tough one to pinpoint here today. There's the defense for the Japanese squad, and this starting lineup for the U.S. Elite team, leading it off here right at the top with the same one who did a lot of damage yesterday, none other than Morgan Zirkle, who takes the first pitch of the game, officially underway here at Devon Park. And so here's that starting lineup for the Elite squad, led by Morgan Zirkle, her 5 RBI yesterday in that run rule win against American Samoa. You've got Savannah Jaquish batting second. You got the Garcias both in there as well. As along with them, you've got Anna Gold. Had a great game 1, looking for a bounce back here in game 3. Kendall Wells making her first ever international start in the middle of the order. You've got Shoemaker as well from Florida, so a couple of young guns back-to-back there in that lineup. Reese Atwood and Alina Garcia as well at the bottom of this order. And then you've got Sydney McKinney from Wichita State. So that is how the Elite squad in all white will go at it here today. And the Japanese team, still the world's #1 as of now. They have a point system with the WBSC standings, and a lot of weight still being put into that gold medal that is actively being carried by the Japanese team. But things are going to change here in a couple of years, and changing right now with Zirkle's base hit to right field, getting us started here tonight.
Zirkules does it again, baby, doing what she does best. Just the veteran leading off. She didn't start off this week being in the top of the lineup, but after a good couple days has worked her way right there, and that veteran leadership is going to be leading off with a first base runner and over at first.
6th hit of the cup already for Morgan Zirkle. Brings up Savannah Jaquish. Has a home run in this cup. She's 2 for 4. And she takes one off the elbow guard so quickly. Some action on the base paths for the Elite. Got something going here after a base hit and a hit by pitch here on the first time up. Right there for Savannah Jaquish.
Takes it off the elbow guard, no problem, no harm, no foul. 2 base runners on to lead this thing off against one of the hardest throwers in the world.
Yeah, she's kind of the one, talking about that starter today, Miyu Goto for Japan. You've got one of the all-time legendary pitchers in the international game who, in her 40s, kind of starting to wind down her career, as that one's low and away, that being Yukiko Ueno. She's kind of one that they've said is going to be passing the torch, sort of speed, on to this youngster right here in the circle, and could be a big-time name to keep in mind for Japan when they are out there in the Olympics right here in Devon Park in 2028. Gabby Garcia, certainly a favorite amongst the crowd right here, still a member of that Oklahoma Sooners squad. Going into her junior season, making her debut performance with Team USA, and it's no stranger to Patty Gasso giving her instruction there in that third base box. 121 career games with the Sooners. And the Elite looking to make a statement early on here, as you see some of that vertical attack plan early on here, Mason. You mentioned it in the scout of Goto. She's going to try to climb the ladder. She's going to try to go down the slide and see if she can get you in one of those 2 ways primarily. This time darting one away, and it's kind of a sluggish start so far for Miyu Goto.
Yeah, against Chinese Taipei, Team USA really struggled. Kind of just being consistent, getting consistent people on the bases. But right here, starting off with 2 people on the bags, the first 2 batters, that's what you like to see for Team USA.
And now an early pivotal pitch here in this ball game. Full count. A lot of possibilities right here in a left-on-left matchup, and Garcia will live to see another pitch.
And Japan isn't really a team that normally beats themselves. Like you mentioned, Ryan, they're ranked #1 in the world, so being able to capitalize on this opportunity, 2 runners on with no outs, is going to be big. But Gabby Garcia in a full count right now.
Grew up in Chandler, Arizona. Out here to the plains of Oklahoma. Wearing the red, white, and blue. Garcia lifts that one out to center field. Routine for Nakagawa, who makes the catch running to her right, and so those runners stay put where they are. First out of the ball game. Well, at the very least, you've made Miyu Goto work to get that first out, and you still have the heart of the order. Anna Gold certainly came through in that first game, had 2 home runs off the bench, had 3 RBI, and she had what ended up being the game-winning home run in the 8th inning of that win against Chinese Taipei. Certainly helped carry over that confidence into yesterday's ball game. Had a bit of a quiet game yesterday. She was 0 for 3, and I know she is locked and loaded here today. Four years at Duke. Drafted 9th overall in the inaugural, or in the AUSL college draft, I should say, and been playing in the professional realm ever since.
Yeah, and she's done some damage in that professional realm, hasn't she? Rookie of the year, all defensive team. She's a ball player.
Plays.
Yeah.
Up in there at the hands, and Goto calls time. It's been really cool to see the growth of the AUSL, hasn't it? I mean,
yeah.
Your first year, you get started last year, and then you see the continuous talent that continues to flow in from the college ranks. And this past year, even more of a success than year one. You get even more viewers in that AUSL Championship Series. Of course, you have the Talons going back to back. Now we've got another 3-1 count here. Goto was able to work her way back from the last one, but we'll see if Anna Gold, we're up in the Northeast, Ballston Spa, New York. Oh, and that time goes right back in at the knees, and it's ball 4. And so bases loaded for the elite squad for the first time very early here in game 3.
Yeah, she's got elite velocity, but it doesn't matter on ball 4. 2 walks already in this inning makes the bases loaded.
Well, and now certainly not an easy obstacle in her way as Kendall Wells coming up with the light tower power that she possesses. And she's still searching for her first hit here in this cup. She was intentionally walked once. She was walked on 4 pitches another time, so she's really been pitched around. Can't pitch around her this time. Taking one for a called strike there right on the borderline. Haven't introduced you to our umpire crew yet for today's game. So you've got Laura Head there behind home plate, Chris Hartley at first, Jason Gahoski at second, John Baca at third. I think we had a fan down there make a nice play.
Wonder if he's going to end up giving the ball to a kid. Let's see.
I don't think they've got that choice here.
Yeah, you got to give him back, huh?
Got to give him back. The illusion has been broken. Kendall Wells taking one in the dirt.
Goto finally getting ahead on an at-bat here. It was 0-2, and then just a little low on that one.
Kendall Wells, let's see if she can unleash. It's the #1 team in the world, and going to take back-to-back now, and so a 2-2 count.
Goto dancing around the zone.
Here's this 2-2 pitch. That one cranked high in the air to left field. Hangs up there just a bit. It is caught. That runner tagging from third to score the first run. And in there, standing up, Zirkle scores. So a sacrifice fly RBI for Kendall Wells. And it's the U.S. Elite squad up 1-0 early.
And that's exactly what you wanted her to do. She did this all year at OU in these spots where you need somebody to just put something in play so somebody can tag up and score, doing what she does best.
Well, anytime Kendall Wells hits a fly ball, I think most people assume it's just going to be gone.
Yeah, it was pretty quick off the bat and really hung up in the air.
That wind blowing very sharply from left to right.
Yeah, it's knocking my papers around too.
You know, they say that broadcasters don't understand the struggle of the players. Mason Humphrey understands it perftly.
Man, I had
going
sweat
through the
stains
exact
going
same
yesterday.
struggle as these girls down there. Isn't that right, Mason?
Well, I mean, you are right, but to just kind of take a second. I mean, these girls have battled all year with one goal in mind, and it's to keep winning internationally.
Taylor Shoemaker certainly having that in her sights as she's Another one of those making her first ever trip with the international team. She's used to this ballpark, though. University of Florida, played here in the Women's College World Series. Really burst onto the scene her freshman year as well. There's a couple of more balls to start this count for Goto, and so this will be her 25th pitch of the inning. And another hitter-friendly count. Not one you want to mess around with. Just couldn't quite keep that one in fair territory.
And a good swing, too. This Japan team being ranked #1 in the world. You got a quick arm in the circle right now. You don't want to leave ducks on the pond. Japan is not going to beat themselves. You have to be able to capitalize on moments like these.
3 teams left in this International Cup that are undefeated. The women's national team, the elite team, and the Japanese team. And another 3-1 count. So if Shoemaker can find her way on, it'll set the table for Reese Atwood. We got a quick stoppage here. Was there maybe a miscommunication with that scoreboard? Was it a pitch clock thing? I mean, it's still a 3-1 count. Just make sure they've got it right up there in left center field, which they do. Goto finds it there on the corner. That took some precision. And now you'll have runners on the go. Full count with 2 away. Who will win the battle? Shoemaker does with a base hit up the middle. 1 run will come around third and score ahead of the throw. And Taylor Shoemaker's first hit in international play doubles the lead for the elite team.
Took her a while to get hot in this tournament, but right there, just exactly what Team USA needed. Keep the inning alive and do not let the Ducks stay on the pond. She brings one home with that single.
Mio Goto tried to make a play, also kind of swam out of the way of a hot shot right up the middle, and excellent at bat for Shoemaker, and here is Reese Atwood with runners on the corners and an early 2-0 lead. Interesting to see how Japan manages things from here on out. Didn't quite expect a 30-pitch inning from Miyu Goto, I'd have to imagine. Now another 2-0 count.
Yeah, no kidding, Ryan. Just Team USA getting on top of this thing early. Not what a lot of people in this ballpark expected, but they will take it.
Reese Atwood, a back-to-back champion at Texas, a National Player of the Year in 24. Finds the bleachers that time. So between her handful of years when Texas was still in the Big 12 and they played in the Big 12 tournament, and then all the trips to the Women's College World Series, Reese Atwood has played a ton of games here at Devon Park, not to mention international play as well. 2-1, just a harmless pop-up behind home plate, and that one does find the nets, so it'll roll back down. Reese Atwood grew up 3 hours away from Austin in a small town called Sandia, Texas. Population, Mason, 206.
Wow. Small town kid making it out to the big stage here.
She had a job on her family ranch, taking care of chickens, goats, geese, and tagging baby deer.
That's your storybook, isn't it? It's like a Disney movie.
Just barely tipped that one foul, changed the trajectory enough as well so that Yamauchi could not squeeze it on a tipped third strike. So a half inning that has lasted 15 minutes now, 2 runners in on 2 hits. We've had a hit batter as well. That was Jaquish, who's over. Well, she came in to score that second run. Got Gold on third, Shoemaker on first. Atwood, oh, hot shot, look out, Patty. You know, it's funny, you can tell the respect that a third base coach has for the hitter that's at up at the dish with how far back they stand away from where the actual box is. Like when Kendall Wells was up there, Patty was about 15 feet back.
Yeah, she was dang near in left field, wasn't she?
I would be too. Oh, but Atwood goes down on the pure power of Goto, and it ends the inning, but a long and successful top of the first inning for the Elite team. A 2-0 lead, and that one right there from Taylor Shoemaker bringing home the second run. And so, as we have the U.S. Elite team starting pitcher coming out, we'll introduce you to her here after this. She's another local favorite, and it's an early lead for the Elite squad. We'll see you guys when we come back from this break. It's the International Cup presented by Mercy.
Live for the bases loaded, for the full counts.
You got this.
Live for the away games, for the strikeouts.
Oh, man.
Live for the high fives, the pop flies, and the moonshots.
That's my girl.
There's my slugger.
Live for the big moments and the little ones. Live the game like never before.
I am a place that's built on tradition but thrives on momentum, where solid roots keep me grounded and big ideas push me higher, where the streets hum with energy, culture sparks connection, and we celebrate every win together. From the bright lights to the colorful walls, from the sound of progress to the quiet of wide open spaces. I am a place that finds its way into your spirit, your stories, your heart. They call me Oklahoma City, and I've saved you a front row seat.
Final game of the group stage here in the USA Softball 2026 International Cup, and an early lead for the Elite squad, able to score 2 runs on 2 hits. And there she is, the starter for today's game for the Elite team. A hometown favorite, Kaylani Ricketts, the southpaw who spent 4 years just down the road in Norman with the Oklahoma Sooners, a 2-time Collegiate Player of the Year back-to-back in 2012 and 2013. She appeared in both games so far for the Elite team, and now here she is getting the start against Japan in Game 3. And it will be Ayani Nakagawa leading things off for Japan and taking the first pitch off the thigh. So she'll gingerly trot her way over to first, and not an ideal start for Kaylani Ricketts, and so we'll see if she can settle in there. Just kind of lost grip of that one on the inside, and ended up getting right on the knee. I thought that got a little bit higher up and got some more meat, but that was right there, ball on bone, and so you can see some discomfort from Nakagawa.
Yeah, there was no ham hock on that one.
No.
That's bones and tendons.
Yeah. They don't really have a knee protector either, per se. You know, you've got the shin guards, you've got the toe guards, the elbow guards, and so getting a little bit of a look out there at Nakagawa to make sure that she's okay, obviously in some pain. Getting hit there on the lead leg on the outside of the knee.
And they've doubled up on sprays of Icy Hot here, so she must really be feeling it. A couple jogs off camera. Hopefully she's all right.
Yeah, she's good to go. She's good to go. Here's a look at the defensive alignment for the U.S. Elite squad now that we know that Ayani Nakagawa is okay and good to go. So Kendall Wells getting her first start with the catcher's gear here in this International Cup. And then from left to right across the infield, we've got Anna Gold over in the hot corner. The Garcias in the middle of the infield, Alina over at shortstop, and Gabby at second. First pitch to Urara Fujimoto. Savannah Jaquish over at first base, and then in the outfield, Taylor Shoemaker patrolling center field, and in the corners, it's Taylor McKinney over in left and Morgan Zirkle in right. Fujimoto gonna take that one up and away. And I think we'll see a lot of this defensive alignment that we've got right now, Mason, where you have the corner infielders charging in, anticipating a slap, a bunt, something soft to try to run this thing out.
Yeah, Japan is a small ball team.
And there it is right there, just tapping it back to the circle and taking care of business herself. Ricketts gets the first out.
Speaking of small ball, there it is, just a little slap hit. Right back to her, makes it done, gets it done with the PFP.
This may be the perfect matchup, as here's the starting lineup as well for Japan. You've had Nakagawa and Fujimoto get going. Nakagawa's over at second base now. Kyoko Ishikawa up to bat now, followed by Saori Yamauchi, Minori Naoto, Yume Kirishi, Mana Kimura, and Kanata Koto. But this is really the dream matchup for Keilani Ricketts. We talked in game one about the left-on-left matchup that she brings to the table. That left foot all the way on the other side of the rubber. And that release point, I mean, it makes her hard stuff like that. You see the drop ball. It makes it look like it's going right at a left-handed batter's hip. For the sake of the first batter of the game, it ended up actually doing that. But most of the time, it does dart back and kind of deceptively take up some real estate horizontally, and that's kind of the advantage that she brings to the table.
Kyoko is going to call time here, then get right back in. She's a fundamentally sound infielder that really goes along with this disciplined approach that this team has. She's batting third here today.
Corner infielders on high alert once again. Not able to find the zone there. And she's pleading that. Actually, that was ball four, so she'll take her base. So Japan got into a little bit of hot water in the top of the first. Ricketts so far through 9 pitches, a pair of base runners on as well. Saori Yamauchi, yet another lefty. Able to get out in front of this AB.
Now batting catcher number 16, Naomi Yamauchi.
Nice looking pitch there on an 0-1, and so Ricketts nicely getting ahead 0-2. As a reminder, what's at stake today, the U.S. women's national team, after its win earlier in a run rule against China, has locked up the #1 overall seed in Group B. Canada is the #2 seed in Group B. Both of these teams out here today are still 2-0 in Group A, so the victor will be the first seed in Group A, and the loser will be the 2 seed in Group A, as that one just barely tapped back to the circle. Ricketts has nowhere to go, so she's just going to have to eat it and accept the results, which is an infield single. And yeah, Mason, that's kind of the bread and butter of the Japanese team. I mean, you couldn't bunt that thing into a better spot than what that was just placed. There was no hope of making a play there.
That really is their bread and butter, and you know, Yamauchi really plays into that role. Very versatile. She's catching here today, but she can easily be plugged in multiple positions at the infield. Speaking of versatility, how about doing it on the offense and loading the bases for them?
We've got our first visit here as well. Jen Rocha out to talk with Keilani Ricketts. Patty Gasso with the rest of the infield. And, well, all the Oklahoma representation out there right now. You've got Patty Gasso, the head coach of the Sooners. You've got Jen Rocha, the pitching coach of the Sooners. You've got a former Sooner starting pitcher. You've got a current Sooner at catcher. You have a Sooner in your middle infield. A lot of representation for Oklahoma just there on the dirt here today.
Yeah, and they're not normally a team that starts a game off with a walk and then walks another and then lets up a single. So this is really just out of characteristic for them and this team, and that might be why they're having the meeting right now, just saying, hey, remember who we are and where we're coming from, what we're fighting for. They're going to need to get it together here in this one. Bases loaded, Ricketts in the circle.
I think you're talking a lot of shop here as well of certain ball hit to a certain place. Where are you going? Obviously, you've got to force out at all 4 bases. And facing the first righty in that Japanese lineup, Minori Naoto. See if Keilani can settle in. Was a hit batter, a walk, and an infield single. Now a hard swing and a miss, and Naoto down in the count, 0-2. Naoto playing for the Takasaki JDL team over in Japan. Just taps that one to the middle of the infield. Going to be a tough turn. They go to second for one, and that throw fired way up the line. That'll result in a second run scoring, and off of an E4, Japan has tied this game at 2. Actually, an E6, I should say.
Looked like Garcia actually hit the base runner there from first. Saori. Not sure if there's an interference call or rule, but definitely some contact. Let's take another look at it.
Now just put that thing in play. You have the quick flip, and then it did.
Yeah, that's off the helmet right there.
Yeah, you're right, it did.
Also not completely sure if Garcia got that heel. She was trying to sweep the leg over to get the base. I mean, a lot to talk about in this meeting with Coach Gasso, and there's the infield.
Yeah, so Patty out there talking with our home plate umpire right now, and made us at least want a conversation here. From the looks of it on the replay, though, Yamauchi was not out of the baseline. At least it didn't look like it. We may be able to run that one again so you guys can see it, but that's prompting our talk now. Is so looking at that smack off of the shoulder, the side of the helmet, maybe a little bit out of that baseline actually to the right, and so results in that ball going way off course and that second run scoring. So pretty big sequence here. Again, as a reminder, our umpire crew for today, Laura Head is behind home plate, Chris Hartley at first, Jason Gahoski at second, and John Baca at third. And all 4 of them seeing if they may decide to take something into their own hands here.
I mean, where do we even begin in this conversation in that circle right there? A lot to break down.
Well, we haven't seen any, official like replay review kind of stuff. It's not really a thing, what I know at least, in international play.
Another thing is too, though, I mean, you got to hear the clunk of that helmet. That's softball and arm contact to a plastic helmet. Let's see what the call is.
So Laura gonna go talk with Patty, and she's kind of shaking her head, which may indicate, hey, there's not really a whole lot we can do about this now.
Yeah, she's not happy.
You don't think so?
She just mouthed, no way, what is that?
You don't
What
think
is that?
You don't think Patty Gasso has a very good poker face sometimes?
Good call switching there before more words end up being said. But yeah, I mean that's a difficult call to miss there. That is clearly off of the helmet, clearly in the base path, and you're going to hear some boos from Devon Park.
We are tied now at 2. A little bit of controversy sprinkled over this bottom of the first inning, but Japan able to fight back. So now 2 outs after you get that runner at second. Moves this on over for Yume Karichi. She wears that one. 2 hit batters in the inning now for Ricketts.
Just not Team USA style of ball right here. She even tried to get out of the way of it. Ends up making contact. All smiles, taking the base.
Just 1 hit so far for Japan. You've had a walk, 2 hit batters, and then that sequence a moment ago where the ball kicks off of the right side of the base runner. Now Mana Kimura is up. 7th batter of the inning. A half inning that has now gone on for 30 minutes.
Yeah, with 2 outs, Ryan, now you just got to figure out how to get an out. You had a call that didn't go your way. You got 2 base runners on. Ricketts just has to deliver here.
Not quite finding the zone on that one either. Kimura, a staple in that Japanese lineup, and she's in a 3-0 count. Kendall Wells going to call time, and she'll look to go calm Kelani down. That was pretty quick.
Just take a couple breaths. I really like that timeout call by Kendall behind the plate.
Good feel.
Definitely, especially out of somebody as young as her.
3-0 pitch, just barely brushes the corner. So Mana Kimura, member of the 2026 World Cup group stage roster for Team Japan, certainly a pretty odds-on favorite to make the roster as an infielder in the Olympics in 28. Takes strike 2, pretty much the exact same spot. So full count, runners will be on the go.
Kana's a really fast player herself, has elite speed. Somebody Team USA needs to get out.
And with that payoff pitch, we'll have another one after it on the foul ball. So back to it again. Can Ricketts get out of this first inning? Not yet.
Mana's somebody that has the slap hitting ability, but took a big swing right there, even on 3-2.
Kind of surprising, right? I mean, you'd think it'd be more just pure contact. 3-2, there's the pure contact swing. Rolled over to first base, and it retires the side. Jaquish tapping the bag, but Team Japan able to score 2 runs and tie us up through 1. So an eventful first inning for both sides, and we wipe the slate clean heading to the second. It's the International Cup here in Devon Park, presented by Mercy. The Women's Elite Squad back up here when we come back. Both teams able to strike here in the first inning and out of the top of the second. And I'll tell you who's relieved after that Japanese bottom of the first. It's Miyu Goto getting the start here today, and what ends up being a meeting between 2 very, very good softball programs. As you see a little bit of the rundown to Japan's involvement here in this International Cup. They've been in every single one. You've got Japan leading the all-time series 5-1 in this International Cup. And Alina Garcia, first pitch, taking it inside near the elbow guard, and an early 1-0 count. So Goto got herself into trouble in that first inning, struggling to find the zone in the first couple of batters. Able to bounce back on that second pitch of the inning there. Alina Garcia broke her bat. Look at that.
Man, that's a metal bat, too.
Hanging on by a thread.
Wow.
Could use that as a set of nunchucks or something now. I mean, oh my gosh. Dude, look at this.
You know, I got the Ninja Turtle backpack. Let's take another look at it.
It was on the backswing. It just buckles.
Oh, man. Oh, look at that. She thinks that's the coolest thing ever.
May have to report that to the manufacturer. Write that down somewhere. Alina Garcia got a new one. Looks like an identical bat as well. Nice pink touch to the barrel.
Yeah, I like that. They had that thing ready, too.
They've got two. 2-1. That one brushed inside, kind of sent her off of the plate. Well, Garcia used that bat that is now broken to clear the bases yesterday in a 3 RBI double. A big momentum shift in that game against American Samoa. And now that bat, I don't know, maybe he'll end up in the softball museum somewhere or something. Or maybe it'll just be in a trash can outside of Devon Park. Who knows?
Maybe it's
anywhere
just a
in
memory.
between.
I mean, she's definitely going to tell that
She'll
story.
probably keep it herself, honestly.
Going back to UCLA, no doubt.
Say, check this out, guys. Look what I did. She's looking to battle her way on here to lead off the second. And a good fight indeed.
Yeah, that was anything but conservative. Power right there.
Alina Garcia, the West Coast kid, grew up in Pico Rivera, California, played for the illustrious travel ball team, the Corona Angels, stayed in state at UCLA. And now taps one over to second base, but snared out of the air by Kudo, so the first out of the inning. A very expensive out number one. Not sure how much those bats cost, but it's a little bit of money down the drain, huh?
And that at bat, yes, to your point, that bat has gone to waste, but the at bat itself did not. That's a competitive AB. That's exactly what you need in this moment of the game. You get hit in the mouth with a bad call, give up 2 runs, you walk some people, hit some people, give up a hit, but you got to be able to compete. That's what Alina Garcia does in that at bat. And here comes Sydney McKinney.
Coming up on 45 pitches now. One time through the order for Miyu Goto. Sydney McKinney, the last of those. She's had herself a good international cup. She's a nice 2 for 4 between the 2 games. Came off the bench in the first game against Taipei, had a hit. Started yesterday, had a hit then as well. Just nice and consistent from probably the most obvious candidate on this roster. Sydney McKinney had a 34-game hit streak in her final season at Wichita State, one of the longest in NCAA softball history. So consistency is key. As another roller over to the right side, and that will end the inning. Or actually, never mind. Sorry about that. I'm getting ahead of myself, Mason. What am I doing?
No, you're good, brother. We're back to the top of the lineup
Sure
here.
are.
Morgan Zirkle.
That'll end the lineup.
Zirkules back to the top. She led this thing off with a single. Exactly what Team USA needs to get back in order in this tied game.
So a couple of outs to the right side, and Morgan Zirkle now up. She dribbles one to shortstop, and so that will end the inning. I was about 30 seconds premature. First pitch swinging, Zirkle grounds out, and there's the 1-2-3 inning from Miyu Goto. A good response for her. We'll see if there's a good response on the U.S. Elite side, giving up 2 runs in the bottom of the first, and we'll see what they've got in the bottom of the second. 2-2 our score here in the International Cup. Back with the bottom of the second, presented by Mercy. Keilani Ricketts back out again for the bottom of the second. Had to voyage her way through the first here in the USA Softball International Cup. The final game of the group stage. We'll have the knockouts starting tomorrow, and a welcome back to this tournament. The 15th one since it was started in 2005. A whole bunch of countries that have been involved. Japan has been right there every step of the way in every single one of these, but Team USA has taken home 11 of those championships. So now, starting off this inning with a left-on-left matchup, Kana Kudo gonna lead it off, so it'll be 8, 9, and 1 in the order. And so far, these teams have gone pretty much stride for stride. Got a good crowd out here tonight as well. Temperatures a lot more palatable than what they were yesterday. Had one of the hottest days of the summer. It was 108 when we started our broadcast yesterday, dude.
It sure was. I felt it.
It was brutal. Every bit of that. And now here today, you compare that 86, 20-degree difference from yesterday to today. So I'd imagine that they're feeling pretty nice down there on the field right now in comparison to yesterday. But a 3-1 count. Kudo looking to find her way on. It was Nakagawa starting off the first inning with a hit by pitch. Came around to score the first of those 2 runs.
Yeah, it was a hot one yesterday, Ryan. I lost 4 pounds just sitting here.
Now 4 balls in that count from Ricketts. And so now you've got a leadoff base runner once again for Japan. A little bit of action now in the Team USA bullpen. Looks like Ali Carta and Nyjah Kennedy from my eyesight up here, which at least as of now is still 2020. Although I did just turn 25, so
hey, there you go.
Hopefully it stays perfect vision for as long as possible.
Wells tried to frame it behind the plate, but nothing doing. That's going to be a leadoff walk. Somebody with elite speed, and here comes that small ball. Reminds you of a Northwest Arkansas high school baseball team.
That sounded very specific, Mason Humphrey.
Go Mounties.
Oh, boy. Not a shameless shout on ESPN+. Love it.
Well, I mean, seriously. I mean, you got small ball here. That's exactly how Japan wants to play, all tied up.
That's how they won that gold medal, is that one's shoveled to the right side, and so an 0-2 count. Would imagine that bunt is wiped off now unless they just have the utmost confidence in Ayana Kuroji. Last one in this Japan order before it goes back to the top once again. Plays in the JDL for the Hitachi Sun Diva. That was a half swing. Just making contact with the ball.
Staying alive by the Bee Gees right there. And one thing that's really impressive and something you gotta be thinking about is Japan with this small ball style, being able to come back despite being down 2 runs and coming back super quick. Now it's a tied ball game. Here we go.
Just sends that one over to the right side. They go to second for 1 and not quite in time to turn 2. So a fielder's choice. Jaquish showing the quick reflexes and able to just fire that thing over to Garcia at second. Look how far up she was choked on that bat. Kuroji basically feeling the metal of the bat and just at least makes them earn that first out. Ideally, she would have loved for them to get her at first instead of her teammate there at second.
And Garcia was just a little late getting to the party there. Ryan over to first base, trying to cover the bag.
Nakagawa off the fists, first pitch, and it's flagged down at the shortstop position by Alina Garcia. And so now we've got 2 away. Now was Keilani Ricketts just attacking the inner part of the zone, and Nakagawa caught a little bit off guard and late to the party with that swing. Stealing your phrase you just used a second ago.
Throw down.
Taken on down to second base, and the tag it applied. It did in time. Able to swipe it down onto the top of that cherry red helmet of the Japanese team. And so nicely done, Kendall Wells. Man in some traffic out there on the bases. Look at this tag right here, right at the top of the dome. Nicely done by Alina Garcia. And so just like that, An unconventional 1-2-3 inning for the Women's Elite Squad. It's the International Cup presented by Mercy. The Women's Elite team and the Japanese national team staying stride for stride through 2 innings of play. We'll see what the 3rd inning has to offer when Savannah Jaquish leads us off. We've got our extended hydration break, which gives us some time to look at the Cup standings so far. You see the division right there between Group A and Group B. The U.S. Elite team patrolling the top of Group A, leading in that run differential as of now, but the winner of today's game will take charge as that #1 team in Group A. Group B is already done, and I think that one thing stands out there, and it's that plus 24 run differential for the women's national team.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And you got to take a look at Australia down there. But they're a developing team. There's somebody that's coming in here just happy to be playing against some international experience. But how about U.S. Elite coming in here and tying this game up? It's all tied up here, and a lot of people might have thought that that's not the way this would have gone. Japan is a very, very sound team. It's going to be a good one. We got a lot of game left.
So this International Cup is not done for China, Australia, Chinese Taipei, or American Samoa. They will play in some flip-flopped consolation games against each other tomorrow and Monday. We'll have the true semifinals tomorrow as well in the knockout stage. You'll have the #1 team in Group A taking on the #2 team in Group B. So whoever wins this matchup here tonight will be taking on Canada. And then the loser of tonight's matchup will be taking on the women's national team in the other side of that semifinal bracket. So read between the lines there, and if the Elite squad can take care of business, you would potentially set yourself up for a date with your own other team, basically an inter squad in the championship game. If you were to lose this game to Japan, you'd be playing them in an inter squad in the semifinal. That one I think could be pretty interesting tomorrow, because we've talked about the talent that is on both of these rosters and how this U.S. Elite squad is far from being just a quote-unquote B team. I mean, there's plenty of these players who are going to be in contention to make it onto that Olympic roster in 2028.
And that's why this tournament is so important, Ryan. You got to see how they act, how they stay composed, and how they perform in international play. There's Gabby Garcia, who stuck the tag from Kendall Wells from behind the plate. She was a little late rotating over to first on that double play ball, but made up for it with a sweet tag from Kendall for out #3.
Would imagine that gets the seal of approval from her current collegiate head coach, Patty Gasso. She's been out there in the third base box this entire time for this cup, and you may say, well, of course, Ryan, she's the head coach. Well, she's not the one who's really doing a lot of the maneuvering here in this cup. It's actually her acting head coach who's along with her in this, her pitching coach at Oklahoma, Jen Rocha. Patty Gasso is going to obviously be your head coach, your manager for all of your other stuff. The World Cup coming up here in a few months. You've got the Olympics coming up in 2 years as well. But this is kind of a village of coaches, some of the best in the country. And Patty Gasso is certainly calling the shots and steering steering the car, but you've got plenty of others in there that are doing their thing. Savannah Jaquish now is up. She was hit by a pitch her last time. See if she can find her way on in a little bit less painful of a way, though she's down on the count 0-2. Still facing Miyu Goto, who really had a night and day first inning and second inning.
Yeah, went 3 up, 3 down in that second inning.
Bat to ball, right field line, just foul.
Jaquish is a proven winner, 2025 Games gold medalist.
And the World Games, the U.S. able to win the gold. Japan got the bronze in that World Cup.
4 years at LSU as well. Just a decorated resume. It's had a good tournament here as well.
That one just a little bit offshore. Jaquish played in the Japan Diamond League, the JDL, for 2 seasons actually. He played for the Toda Medics. Goto thought she had strike 3 there, even turned around, gave a little bit of extra sauce to the shoulders there. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did. That's a lot of expression in the circle, not quite having the outing that she's wanting. Had a good last inning.
Turns that one on a line to the third base side, and so another foul ball.
Yeah, she did not like that call. Looks like she's communicating something with the coaches as well. Just a very vocal player in the circle.
Two. Not on that one either.
Good eye by Jaquish. She got hit by a pitch last time she was up, ended up being one of the 2 runs scored off of that 2 RBI single from Shoemaker. It's because of these competitive at-bats and knowing the zone.
Payoff pitch from Goto, and Jaquish goes down swinging. Losing the battle here this time to open up the third. One away, and just going down and away with that one, and really kind of no choice. Once she started that motion, Jaquish couldn't hold back, and she kind of knew it. You could see it in her face there when she started that swing.
Yeah, that was a good pitch.
So now Gabby Garcia. Now right there, the second strikeout of the outing for Goto. Garcia, nice clean batting average, .333. It's a nice 1 for 3 rate. That one of the farther out misses from Goto here in this outing. It was a called time from the catcher Yamauchi. Goto was kind of reshuffling the dirt a little bit in her landing spot. And finds the zone that time, true to the outer half, staying away from the lefty Garcia. Trying to stay away again, and does just that. Just kind of slowly nudging that thing further and further outside, seeing just how much of that plate they're going to give to her.
She's in full control of the strike zone. You're exactly right, Ryan. Just keeps pushing it farther and farther.
She goes even further this time, but it's tapped off of the mitt of Goto. Quick throw from the shortstop is in time. Ishikawa, a nice improv act there on the dirt, and there is 2 away.
And what good awareness by Garcia, knowing, hey, this strike zone is extending. I have to be able to adapt. I mean, this is really far out there, just off of the end of the barrel there, the cap of it. But they end up making the play, Japan. Very nicely done.
So they'll score that a 1-6-3 put out. And on a gold, we'll look to keep this inning alive. Team USA has gone 5 up, 5 down since the first inning. And Gold swings through that one on the outside. We're seeing a bit of a change in philosophies here in these last 2 innings from Miyu Goto. She was really going north and south, and now she's attacking east and west, going inside that time, and a flare to first base ends the inning. So that slight change has kind of sent this elite squad into a little bit of a spiral here these last 6 batters, and just like that, another clean half inning from the Japanese youngster, and so now we head to the bottom of inning number 3, still tied up at 2 here in Devon Park. The International Cup presented by Mercy, and we'll go ahead and see what we get on the other side of this thing once again from Kaylani Ricketts when we come back.
Live for the bases loaded, for the full counts. Live for the away games, for the strikeouts. Live for the high fives, the pop flies, and the moonshots.
That's my girl.
There's my slugger.
Live for the big moments and the little ones. Live the game like never before.
I am a place that's built on tradition but thrives on momentum, where solid roots keep me grounded and big ideas push me higher, where the streets hum with energy, culture sparks connection, and we celebrate every win together. From the bright lights to the colorful walls, from the sound of progress to the quiet of wide open spaces. I am a place that finds its way into your spirit, your stories, your heart. They call me Oklahoma City, and I've saved you a front row seat.
Oh, it's been a nice response from Miyu Goto and the Japanese squad. Kaylani Ricketts able to get a nice, clean bottom of the second. What does she have for us in the bottom of inning number 3? Go ahead and get that started for you guys right now here at the International Cup, Devon Park, presented by Mercy. Urara Fujimoto will lead us off and take a call, strike 1.
She came up to bat in that last inning, but had to go back to the dugout after the throwdown. Aggressive base running, which was to be expected from this team. She gets another shot here in the 3rd.
Well, hasn't served her very well so far. Down on the count, 0-2. Ricketts getting out the paintbrush. Now could go pretty much anywhere with this. I'd bet on a nice change of speeds down. Oh, wait, got a little bit away.
Just a bit outside.
Indeed she did, Bob Uecker. Indeed she did.
6'2" pitcher. 34 years old, a lot of experience. 4 years at Oklahoma as well.
You know, the laundry list of Team USA events that she's been in. That went over to 3rd. A nice shot in the hot corner and a throw to 1st. Gets away from Jaquish. Would have been a heck of a play from Anna Gold, but instead, not only given her 1st base, but also 2nd on the throwing error. So you cut that 60-foot distance from the plate to 3rd base nearly in half. Gold playing way up the line and able to snare that thing, but then just sailed the throw to 1st.
And other than that throw, they've been really clean at 3rd, whether it's been Anna Gold playing in there because of her bat or Klingler in there. Had a really good first day against Taipei. But right there, just 1st error from 3rd.
So a gift for the Japanese team, and Kyoko Ishikawa now up, tapping 1 foul. So you think about all of the free base runners that Team USA has given up here in this game. You started it off with a hit batter. You had a walk in that same inning. You had an E6 in that same inning, even though you could argue there's runner's interference there. You had another hit batter as well, and then you have this other throwing error to start this inning off. I mean, you'd say that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 separate results that ideally you would want to go the other way.
Yeah, USA is definitely beating themselves right now. Japan hasn't really done anything to say, hey, we're applying the pressure. It's been USA building themselves up and knocking themselves down.
And Ishikawa lifts that one out to center field, ranging to her right and making the catch. Shoemaker gets that thing in quickly as well. That's about the best case scenario for out number one. You keep the runner put at second base. You turn it on over to Saori Yamauchi.
Just covering some ground out there. Shoemaker, the Gator, goes and bites that one.
You really a fan of her shoulder roll she
Oh
had
yeah,
there in
yeah.
that first
She's got
game.
swagger. She's got swagger. She was in right field in that first game. She hasn't got much action since then, but makes routine play out in center.
Yamauchi takes one elevated for a ball.
Now batting catcher number 16, Saori Yamauchi.
One of those utility players, can play pretty much all 5 spots on the infield. Nice looking change of speeds there from Ricketts. And when you get to these international games, one of the things that you need from anyone on your roster is versatility.
Yes.
You can't really have just a one-dimensional, single-tooled player. You need someone that can play multiple positions. You need someone that can pitch and hit. You need somebody that can give you some time in different positions in the outfield, in the infield. You want to maximize your return on these small rosters. Team USA has got 18 here in this, and Japan's got 16 on the roster.
You're exactly right, Ryan. She showed that versatility by being able to get on base with the first hit of the day back in the first inning, that is, after 2 walks. So just applying that pressure after being down 2-0, that is versatile.
Just barely in the zone, and it's a full count.
Could not afford another walk there. Maybe a generous call or maybe a good frame behind for Wells right there. Either way, 3-2.
One of the more impactful pitches of the outing for Ricketts coming up right here, and she gets the ground ball she wanted, and she'll deposit it over to first base for out number 2. That runner does trot up 60 feet to third, but considering how this inning began, I think you're okay with 2 outs and a runner on third. Nicely done by Ricketts to fight through that and win the battle.
And that's the experience speaking right there from Ricketts, understanding, you know, you can go ahead and take that third base bag, and there's about to be 2 outs after I flip this thing to first, so really not that much big of a difference. If there's a base hit, she's going to score anyway. Really nice job.
Naoto Minori reached on that error last time. You had that ball that hit off of the helmet of Kirishi, or actually of Yamauchi, I should say, and she lines one up the middle. Going to be a tough play, and it falls for a base hit. So Japan does take a lead off of the throwing error. You give them an extra out to work with, and Minori able to deposit one into center field. Just like that, Japan has its first lead of the game.
I'm not the biggest statistics guy, but I do know that if you let that leadoff batter get on, it's not going to be good news. And makes him pay for it right here with a single, really choked up, just drops it into no man's land into center field, and a run goes across the board.
So those free outs that you give come back to bite you. You make Kirishi up now. In a 1-1 count. She has a lot of familiarity actually with a member of this U.S. Elite roster. That being our starter from game 1, Megan Faremo. Kirishi being her catcher for the Tokyo Red Terriers in the JDL.
Yeah, she is the catcher. She's an elite game caller. Really likes to control the pace of the game from behind there. There's a big reason as to why Goto has been able to just kind of slow down and regroup in this game. Now let's see what she can do in the box. 1-2.
It was an early 2-0 lead for the U.S. Elite team, and then Japan has now scored 3 unanswered runs since then. That one getting away from Wells, and there's another free base. So you've got 2 errors so far on the Elite. There's another base taken on a wild pitch. Just kind of soared that thing up and over the head of Wells.
That's exactly where you want to be with 2 outs. Kendall just couldn't quite get the glove up there in time. She was set up down and low. Just over the head.
See if Ricketts decides to attack or still kind of dance around. Here in this 2-2. Goes at her with one waved into shallow center. Gets past the diving Shoemaker, and another run scores as a result. You had the wild pitch. Another ball put in play. And Japan has doubled its lead here in the bottom of the 3rd.
Team USA is running out of toes right now. Just keep shooting themselves in the foot. There's a single, which isn't the biggest deal, but when you got a runner on second because of a pass ball, it becomes one. Good effort in center field by Shoemaker. It just wasn't enough. There's Jaquish. Just trying to keep composure and be a player coach out there that she is.
You may reach a point where you tell your outfielders to come a couple of steps in. As Jen Rocha now comes out to Kaylani Ricketts. Again, there's been some action out there in the bullpen. Nyjah Kennedy has been loose. Ali Carta as well to her right. We'll see if they end up making any changes here. The outfield coming on as well. Looks like they're talking with Coach Bargefeld. You know, Mason, I really do think with the hits that Team Japan has had, the back-to-back singles there from Naito and Karishi, you may want to think about coming in a little bit more, right? Because they're not hitting them over your head. They're getting 2 of them down back-to-back that have literally just been 3/4 swings, found some real estate, and have kind of beat you that way. So we're going to go ahead and take a break now because we have a pitching change. So we'll continue on talking about this game right here. Bottom of the 3rd inning. The day is done for Kaylani Ricketts, and we will have Ali Carta taking over with 2 outs and a runner on first. It's 4-2 Japan here in the International Cup, presented by Mercy. New pitcher on for the Elite. It is Ali Carta, the 4-year UCLA Bruin. She pitched in the first game of this cup and now on to get that final out of the bottom of inning number 3. And a nice start finding the zone against Mana Kimura, who had back-to-back singles from Japan to take a 4-2 lead on an inning that an extra out was given. An extra base was given to that second runner that scored as well, so the miscues starting to pile up for Team USA. Big swing and a miss there from Kimura.
Team USA going up against a team like Japan with how small they play. If you're able to be up 2 runs, each run is like 10, is the way I like to think about it.
See the stat line there from Carta from that first game. That was against Chinese Taipei.
So being able to go up 2-0 was really detrimental to Japan, but because of these mistakes like that one, they're able to get right back in it.
Now Wells just having trouble getting it out of the glove, and it shoots its way to the left, and so there's another free base given. Kirishi now in scoring position. And again, just 3 hits so far in this game for Japan. Carter could end the inning with a strike here, though. Not able to find that one low and away. Carter from Elk Grove, California. Two, dusted her off the plate. Kimura hits the deck on a ball up and in at the shoulder.
Man, talk about high chatter right there. That is in the grill.
Man. Would have done the same thing here.
And Keanu
Fold.
from the Matrix.
Albert Kimura goes down. Swinging on the next pitch, going away and getting the swing and a miss. Carta does exactly as she was supposed to. Comes in, faces one batter, and gets that out to end the inning. But the Elite Squad down by 2. What does it have as a response? We'll find out when we come back after this. Kendall Wells, Taylor Shoemaker, and Reese Atwood due up for the Elite. Into the third, on to the fourth we go. It's the International Cup presented by Mercy. Through 3 innings of play here in Devon Park. It's a 4-2 lead for Japan, and the history of this national team speaks for itself. One of the longest standing, most successful, and a lot of trips in this International Cup, and you see that stat right there. Yukiko Ueno, I mean, that is insane. 413 pitches. Striking out, what was that, 28? Over the course of 48 hours?
Yes, 28.
Known as one of the best pitchers all time. She's not starting here in this game as an appeal down to first says no swing on Kendall Wells. So a nice start to this inning with a 2-0 count. Let's go ahead and take a look for ourselves. And yeah, it's a good call. She held that thing. Held that baby back there. And that gets away, so 3-0 the count.
Really liking Miyu's energy in the circle. She's dancing around like one of the Jackson 5. Just a lot of energy. She's been yelling at the dugout, yelling at her coaches.
You know, there's a reason why she's kind of seen as the next up, with Yukiko Ueno now being, I think, in her 40s. She's been pitching for a long, long time. If this tells you anything, she won a bronze medal in 2004 in Athens with the Japan national team. She was a part of that team in 2004, 22 years ago.
Greatness. Greatness.
Undisputed.
Look at this young gun Miyu right here, firing that strike. Man, she is just energetic. She cannot stop moving.
3-1 and back to the well there. So from 3-0 to 3-2.
Kendall not having the best go at it behind the dish on a 3-2 count. Gonna have to keep composure.
Well, she goes down swinging that time, loses the battle, trying to go up and get that one. Nicely placed, a little bit up and away, rose up from the barrel. You see that swing and just tried to go get it. Was a little bit under that thing, and that is out number 1. Strikeout number 3 for the young lefty for Japan. Loving that outer edge against the lefties. That one was too far off.
She's been getting that call all night, though, and that's why she keeps going back to it. Good decision by Miyu in Japan.
I don't blame her in the slightest. She's going to go back out there again. This time she'll get the call. Man, that thing's tough, man. We need an over-the-top camera looking straight at home plate to see really how close that thing is to the rubber.
Well, Ryan, we got a pretty good view of it up here, and it's definitely a wider zone, I would say.
Shoemaker delivered with that RBI single in the first inning. Taking strike 2, and since that single from Shoemaker, no one has gotten on base.
No, they haven't.
So you go all the way back to Reese Atwood's strikeout to end that inning. It's been 8 consecutive outs for Team USA without a walk or a hit. And Shoemaker rung up on strike 3, this time dancing around on the inside corner. Take a look at this thing. Shoots back down, nice looking drop ball there from Goto, and back-to-back Ks for her here in the 4th, and she is really working.
She is, she's red hot right now, just taking the air out of Devon Park.
Atwood shoots one to the second base side, but it's caught to end the inning by Kudo. So now it has been 10 consecutive outs for Team USA. The elite squad, ever since that 2-run first inning, searching for some offense. They'll have to search a little bit more in the 5th, but for now, they'll have to get some outs here in the bottom of the 4th. It's the International Cup presented by Mercy.
And field maintenance educator of USA Softball.
All momentum in Japan's favor heading to the bottom of the 4th inning. Halfway through this final game of the group stage, and you see the score right there, 4-2. It's going to be up to Ali Carda, who got the final out of that 3rd inning, looking to keep this thing at status quo. She'll face Kana Kudo first, 8-9-1 in the order. Kudo walked her first time up, and now here she is, taking a called strike on the first pitch of the inning. So it's 2 2/3 innings from Kaylani Ricketts, giving up those 4 runs, but not all of those runs were earned. Got the 2 errors up there on the video board. Several walks as well that have certainly been costly. Carta ahead in this count now.
She comes in a tough spot into this game. Just bleeding, damage being delivered everywhere. But she gets that final out. Now she has a chance to dictate the pace, and that looked like it hit the catcher a little rough there. It is a new catcher.
It is indeed.
Wells no longer in there, but looked like that was a stinger on that last pitch.
So we got Reese Atwood catching now. So we'll see what that means for the DP spot. For now, Carta going to work on Kudo, and again, just like what Japan has done all night, been a tough out. Tough with 2. That's the motto, and Japan has really embodied that.
And you said it best, Ryan. They choke all the way up, fully on the back grip, almost on the metal. Just putting something in play is their game. Try to win the mental battle. Small ball.
Carta back again with the 2-2 and trying to go to the spot that's kind of been claimed by Goto, and she doesn't get the same thing there. A little bit high that time. Japan looking for another leadoff base runner. So it took 6 pitches for Carta to get that last out of the last inning. She is now at 7 pitches here in this inning. And she loses the battle. Kudo discards the accessories and heads on down to first.
Every inning that Japan has gotten a leadoff batter on base, they have ended up scoring 2 runs. And so far, looks like that's going to be the same story in this one.
Well, you'd certainly hope not. I guess we'll see. Ayana Karoji. 5 free base runners tonight for Japan. There's a ball. Had 2 hit batters. You've had 3 walks, and that doesn't even include the 2 errors. So technically, if you include those, that'd be 7 free base runners. Karoji swings over the top of that one and just gets a piece. Reached on a fielder's choice her last time. And that foul ball right there, kind of part of the scout. Very steep downhill swing, susceptible to swinging over the top, which she did just there.
And the crowd's starting to get into it as well here at Devon Park. Gonna need that energy.
Gonna need a little bit of juice from the folks in attendance here.
Yeah, you are. I mean, you're down 2 runs. Lead base runner on, but 1-2 pitch underway.
I'll make it 2-2 now.
Got her off balance with that pitch, though. It's a mind game in the circle right now for Carta.
And this is the spot where the scales kind of have continued to tip in Japan's direction. USA needs to execute one of these pitches. That one's in the dirt. You get into a 2-strike count, and it's just felt almost impossible to find that third strike, or even at least just get a ground ball, a weakly hit, pop up, a fly ball. Getting that out once you get into a 2-strike count has been such an incredible journey.
They've really exceeded.
And they're going to ring her up on strike 3 that time. That thing had a little bit of late life to it, and Karoji backing off the plate Now walking all the way back to the dugout. Let's take another look at this one. Kind of in on the knees there. Maybe a good frame job from Atwood. Well, there's your first out.
That's exactly what Team USA needed in this ball game, especially with that lead runner getting on. Now they can control the tempo, and here we go, Ryan.
Got that runner hung up, the throw down, but she's in ahead of the tag. Bit of a magic act, dancing around it and sticking that right leg in there. Kudo is safe at second. She was hung up, nowhere to go, and they go down to first instead of to second. Atwood thinking they could get her going back to the bag, but then you got to exchange hands a second time, and that right foot sliding in a little bit ahead of that throw from Garcia, or that tag from Garcia, I should say.
Really good location on the slide there, too, with the right foot on the right side of the bag, keeping all other limbs out of the equation. Sneaking in there, Garcia not able to get there in time.
Kind of got away with one there. And a 2-0. There you go with the outer edge again. So we're back to the top of the lineup. Nakagawa popped up her last time. Came around to score the first run of the game for Japan there in the first. It was 2-0 USA, then it was 2-2. Stayed there for an inning, and then in the bottom of the third inning, 2 more runs for the Japanese team. That one in the dirt. Ali Carta, back-to-back Pac-12 Player of the Year in 2014 and 15. Rest in peace to the Pac-12 as we knew it back then. Ripped apart and sent to all corners of the country. Here's the 3-1.
Yeah, well said, Ryan.
Another walk.
Got to show some Pac-12 love, but what we need on this diamond is to throw strikes. Really struggling all the way, both pitchers for Team USA. And let's talk about it.
Yeah, Reese Atwood thinks that's a pretty good idea. She might have heard you up here. Maybe you just have a direct communication down there. Is that what it is?
Yeah, we got PitchCom.
You're talking with Jen right now, Patty in the dugout.
Yep.
The assistant coaching staff that they have here is we've got Megan Faremo warming up. You can see her off in the distance there. Nyjah Kennedy lurking beyond that fence right there in the right field corner. This assistant coaching staff for Team USA built amongst some of the best here in the country. Patty Gasso leading the way, and we've talked about her and Jen Rocha a ton, but got to talk about John Bargefeld as well, one of the best pitching coaches of this era. He was at Oklahoma State for a handful of years, helped manufacture some incredible pitching talent over there. Was at Tulsa as a head coach before that, has been at Arizona State as well. Done a good job there, coming back out of retirement and kind of doing his thing here with Team USA. You got Chris Malveaux, the co-head coach of Auburn, renowned for his offense, Tennessee, Missouri, Kansas, Louisiana, really getting his start and then coming all the way over to the SEC as a head coach. You got Jen McFalls from Kansas as well, 8-year coach with the Jayhawks, and she's been a part of Team USA coaching staff since all the way back in 2000. So our pause has come to an end, and Hotaru Tsukamoto taking a strike. And there you go with another one to make
Beautiful.
it 0-2. So now this has been the obstacle. You get to 2 strikes, but have struggled to get the out.
Knowing the zone, though, to get to strike 2. Now just got to send her packing.
Going back out there again. Will she get the call? Yes, she will. They say she goes around and back-to-back. Able to get a couple of outs here from Carta once he got into some trouble. We'll check it back here on the replay with the check swing. Yes, she did go. That's a great eye down there in the third base box from John Baca.
That's the exact kind of break that Team USA needed. Had to pick up another out. After that meeting, got 2 of them now with 2 runners on.
3 strikeouts already for Carta, and she has only faced 5 batters. Kyoko Ishikawa now, 3 spot in the order, the starting shortstop. She walked and flew out to center field. Now you've got the infielders camping in as Ishikawa beats that shift, and it may plate another run, and indeed it will as the throw-in is cut off. Kicks away, goes into Atwood, but long after Nakagawa comes around to score, and there you go. Another run scoring on a ball that just goes where the defenders aren't. 5-2 Japan. Take another look.
Good piece of hitting. That's exactly what Japan is set out to do. Just make contact, make the routine plays, be fearless in the box. It's exactly what they do. It doesn't take much. They're not trying to kill the ball. They haven't had a single ball go past one of our outfielders yet, but they're up 5-2.
Little jam shot single. So that runner coming around to score after the walk. Now here is Rocha back out again. Got 3 pitchers out and getting warm now. Well, I think you can pretty safely say it's all 3 of the ones that haven't appeared in this game yet. Kaylani Ricketts getting the start. Ali Carta out there now. She's been out here for the last 3 outs. Nyjah Kennedy has been getting loose for the last 2 innings. Megan Faremo has been getting loose for the last inning. And now you've got Tegan Kavan joining the crowd down there in that indoor, at least indoor-esque, it's got a roof on it, bullpen down there at the right field corner.
Yeah, every arm that Team USA brought with them into this cup is in the arm barn right now.
The arm barn. You subscribing to, what was that? Who was it that said that? PETA? Wasn't it PETA that said to call it the arm barn?
I know my good buddy Jack Burns always called it that, so I'm not sure.
Go.
Maybe it was his thing, I'm not sure.
So they keep Carta in there. And a 2-0 count to Yamauchi. Single. Had a single in this game and then grounded out to the pitcher. She's needing that last out. And they're not going to find it yet as it kicks down into the corner. Cut off in right field, but another run comes around and an aggressive send as the ball gets away, and we'll score another one and a stand-up triple for Yamauchi. Team Japan blasting the door down here in the 4th.
They sure are. Just complete control of this game. Nothing is getting in their way. Let's take another look at this hit. Just roped up the first base line. Able to cut it off before it gets by her. But 2 runs will score that stand-up triple, like you said.
Jaquish couldn't cut that thing off down the first base line. Zirkle actually made a really good angle on that ball to keep it in front, but then the throw back in got away from Jaquish again and slowly rolled to home, which gave no real chance to get that second runner rounding third coming in to score. Ishikawa doing that, and Yamauchi with the triple.
It was Yamauchi's second hit of the day, and it's a good thing Zirkle was able to cut it off, because that could have been inside the Parker.
Nori Naoto up now and ahead in the count. So we've seen 7 unanswered runs scored by Team Japan since the bottom of the first. Slows that one down. And finding some green territory instead of the red. Just more 2-out rallies for Japan.
And that's the thing when you let them hang around like that. Carta finally able to get into the zone, but as soon as she does that, it's an RBI single, and then that triple that we just saw. Just a rough go at it for Team USA all around.
6 of Japan's 7 runs have scored with 2 outs, and this will end the inning with a hot shot to third base on a knee. On a Gold makes the catch, but plenty more damage done for Team Japan. A 3-spot here in the bottom of the 4th inning, headlined by the Yamauchi triple to plate 2. There's a lot of work to be done for the U.S. Women's Elite offense. When we come back, it'll be 8, 9, and 1 in the order, looking for their first base runner since the first inning. It's the International Cup, presented by Mercy.
I am a place that's built on tradition but thrives on momentum, where solid roots keep me grounded and big ideas push me higher, where the streets hum with energy, culture sparks connection, and we celebrate every win together. From the bright lights to the colorful walls, from the sound of progress to the quiet of wide open spaces. I am a place that finds its way into your spirit, your stories, your heart. They call me Oklahoma City, and I've saved you a front row seat.
Live for the bases loaded, for the full counts. Live for the away games, for the strikeouts. Live for the high fives, the pop flies, and the moonshots.
That's my girl.
There's my slugger.
Live for the big moments and the little ones. Live the game like never before.
Beautiful night here in Oklahoma City. The Oklahoma skies and the weather really cooperating today, but what's not been cooperating is the U.S. Elite offense, or really any aspect of this game. A lot of free base runners, a lot of free bases, a lot of mistakes in the field, and not any base runners since that first inning. Take a look at the history of the U.S. Elite team. They've been in 4 of these international cups, and you've seen them replace that collegiate showcase team, replace the U18 team as well. And Team USA is really winding up, though, with all of the talent that it has in the main squad, who locked up that 1 seed in Group B earlier today with a run rule win over China. Team USA is looking to take that gold medal back from Japan that they took in the 2021 Olympics. Alina Garcia leading off, and there's that first base runner in 3 innings. A first pitch single right back up the middle.
Yeah, Brian, let's break it down right here. Yes, it's been rough. Yes, the errors and walks and everything else have piled on, but it's going to take something right here to put that behind you, and it's going to take a single like that to be able to come back 5 runs. You got to get started somewhere. You got to be able to put that behind you, and the young gun, Alina Garcia, class at 29, is able to do so with a single and is clapping, getting excited at first because of it.
I'm going to use a metaphor that I think you'll enjoy given your recent history the last couple of days. Metaphorically, kind of deploying the parachute.
Oh, yes, I like that. Highly recommend skydiving. I went for the first time 3 or 4 days ago.
You're insane.
Whatever it was. I'm a whole new man.
So Sidney McKinney being pinch hit for. Bubba Nichols-Camarena now up, taking that first pitch for a strike. And what a heck of a stretch of innings it's been from Miyu Goto. Needed nearly 30 pitches to get out of the first inning. Looked like she may not be long for this game, and now here she is in inning number 5. That pitch count not even at 80 yet.
And to be honest with you, Ryan, from what I've seen, she seems to be somebody that gets better as the game goes on. Kind of similar to Derrick Henry of the Baltimore Ravens. Just as it keeps going, she's just going to keep competing, and she builds off of herself.
Camarena into foul ground, and it gets down. A full body extension from Kudo. And your bulldog, your bell cow, your workhorse. There's a lot of animal references for that.
And a diving play. Tried to make the catch. Couldn't quite get there.
See if Nichols can battle here in this AB. Leadoff batter on, and that one close. And now 2-2. 5 years at UCLA. Become familiar with Oklahoma City. Was an expansion pick for the OKC Spark. And getting awfully familiar with that softball, going right in at the midsection, got her in the ribs, but she's, instead of showing pain, she's showing a little bit of fight.
Yeah,
Watch her hype up that dugout after she kind of recollects herself. It grazed the ribs. Could have been a lot worse. And there she is, you see, hyping up the dugout.
Very well said, Ryan. She's using this to motivate
Right fielder number 6.
her dugout, and that's exactly what they need. Now they're back to the top of the lineup. She gets subbed in the 9-hole. Now Zercules is coming up to bat. We know what she can do.
Leads this elite squad in RBI in this cup. Has 6 hits as well between the 3 games.
What I said earlier about getting lead runners on is even more important for USA now, as they have done so with their last 2 batters, both the 8-hole and the 9-hole. Brings up Morgan Zirkle.
And look at this, a 3-0 count.
Yes. The
Would have-
mental battle.
But have to imagine you've got a take sign here. I'd imagine that would be what she would give to one of her players at Marshall, being the head coach there. But there is that spot again that's been rewarded to Goto.
And I'm just going to go ahead and say, Ryan, that is a little far out there.
Just a touch. She's going to go there again, this time a little bit more central, and now going to have to battle 3-2. This is another one of those at-bats. The result you're going to underline in this box score, depending on how this pitch goes. And Zirkle rolls it over and a foul ball. This is going to be a major shift in this game. You find your way on anyway. You've got either bases loaded or maybe a run in with no outs. Or you've got runners on first and second with 1 out and a little bit of a life raft for Goto. This is going to be a big shift in how the rest of this game goes. And we do the 3-2 over again. Zirkle jammed in the dirt and caught at shortstop by Ishikawa. So those runners go back to first and second. And there's out number 1.
That is a momentum at bat right there. You're exactly right. And high fives all around in the infield. Goto feeling good. It's not what you needed. Bailey Klingler subbing in.
5, Bailey Klingler.
Klingler from Washington. Started at third base in the first 2 games, coming off of the bench here, and an aggressive swing on the first pitch that she sees here in game 3.
And she played a good third base, too. I was really impressed with her fundamentals and fearlessness, able to drop to the ground, drop to the knee, make every single ball look routine, despite how hot it was off the bat.
Still searching for that first hit of this International Cup. Pinch hitting for Savannah Jaquish in the 2 spot. And there's another aggressive swing going out to chase that one away. And it's still a ghost town in the Japan bullpen. No one warming up. Full confidence in Goto, and why not? All things considered,
I don't blame Japan at all either. I mean, from the way she's carrying herself, she's only getting started.
Klingler had a pretty cool moment with her mom yesterday. Tracy threw out the first pitch before the game. Here's the 1-2. Klingler turns that one around and hooks it foul. She comes from a family of athletes, Bailey Klingler does. Her dad, Jimmy, was a quarterback at the University of Houston. Her sister, Courtney, played volleyball at Houston. Her brother, Corey, played football at Rice. And her uncle, David, played for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Wow, just an athletic family.
Bailey Klingler on the ground to shortstop, could be 2, not nearly in time, so they get that runner at second base on a fielder's choice. Runners on the corners now with 2 away. Gonna need some magic here from Gabby Garcia.
That at-bat started off really well. Kind of the same approach that we're seeing out of Japan. Just choke up, foul something back, but it results in a rollover to short instead of being able to get through. Now Gabby Garcia is coming up.
You can hear the extra fandom from those here. Obviously, Gabby Garcia playing for Oklahoma right now and swings that one for a strike.
And I'm going to be honest with you, Ryan, just don't really like the approach on that swing. You got to get one back one at a time.
Well, one pitch at a time will help as well, and there's a ball down. Best chance that Team USA has had since the first inning. And now ahead in the count goes Gabby Garcia. To keep this inning alive as well, you could have some firepower there coming up next. Anna Gold, hoping she gets to step into the box here in this fifth. Down to a knee, fishing at that one. Garcia now going to have to protect.
She really is. She did a really good job of just having a good eye, but the big swings have put 2 strikes on the board for her.
Mio looking for another clean inning here in the fifth, and she's going to get it. Same pitch, waved over the top, slowed it down, and parked that thing nicely up underneath the barrel of Garcia. So, since the first inning, Miyu Goto has thrown 4 consecutive scoreless frames, and Japan is cruising on to the bottom of the 5th inning. 7-2 is our score. We'll see if Team USA has a new pitcher when we come back. Looks like that will not be the case. Ali Carta coming back out there again, looking like she is ready to go. It's the International Cup presented by Mercy. Gonna need a clean inning when we come back here in the bottom of the 5th for Team USA. We continue on with the final game of group stage. Ali Carta gonna look to keep this thing right where it is, which is 7-2 Japan. After scoring 3 runs there in the bottom of the 4th, it was a 2 RBI triple. It really packed a punch there in that half inning, and Carta now facing Yume Karishi, the DP here in this one. 6, 7, and 8 in the order. Carta's 0-1 to Karishi on the way. Oh, a nice front door breaking pitch back in there for a strike. That was one of Ali Carta's best pitches of this relief outing so far.
Really good spot. Now she's got 0-2 to work with.
Well, that 3rd strike has been the toughest one to get, and That right there is why, just barely getting a piece of that ball and staying alive. Karishi, you see what she has done here in this game. Oh, 2 pitch, trying to go outside and no call. We've seen some that have been given the other way, similar to that.
Seems like the zone is a little less generous to righties so far in this game.
Tend to agree with you there, Mason. Here's the 1-2. That one yanked to third base, and it kicks off of the foot of Gold, and that'll just be a single. Nicely done bringing that thing back in by McKinney, or actually probably subbed her out. See if they made some defensive changes in the outfield. Either way, a good job getting to that ball, keeping that runner at only first base, but it is a leadoff single and the second hit of the game for Karishi, and she has reached all 3 times.
To any parents out there trying to teach your kids to keep your eye on the ball, show them tape of Japan softball. They do fantastic of just bat-to-ball contact, watching it all the way through, not worried about how far it goes, but really prioritize that contact.
It is Sydney McKinney who is out there in left field still, so she did a good job making that play. An 0-1 count to Mana Kimura. Ryan Breeden and Mason Huffner here in Devon Park, hanging out, having a good time.
We sure are.
Appreciate you all for joining us, whether this is your first game you've watched or you've watched all 3. If you're watching the broadcast, you're a friend of ours. Here's the 0-1. No, not giving that spot to a lefty either.
Can we take a minute to shout out Warren and Seth in the control room as well?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
Let's get a camera on those guys doing their job. We have one back there? Probably not, and if we did, I don't think that Warren would put that up there on the screen. He should, though.
I don't know how to set that up, so that's on them.
Here's the 1-1. Kimura trying to bunt. Move that runner over, and now in a 2-strike count.
And we got Calvin on replay as well. Shout out Calvin.
Our camera crew.
We just locked eyes. I don't think he can hear me.
Well, you got Calvin back there running the replay with the wheel.
Yep, beautiful.
Here's the 1-2. Kimura on the ground to second. Could be 2. Nice underhanded flip for 1 and a second. And then they go and turn 2. And a nice 4-6-3 double play. Much needed for Team USA.
Calvin's a looker, but something more beautiful than him has got to be this double play. You got to find out if you're Team USA. This is Calvin pulling it up for you right here. It's going to be the flip over to short. Garcia fires to first. Klingler is just pumped up about it, too. It's exactly the momentum shift that you need.
That was close, too. That thing was bang, bang there at first. And with that, looks like that will be the final batter that Ali Carta faces, as we have Tegan Kavan running out of the bullpen, and she is getting ready to go. She's got that face mask in hand, and looks like she may get the ball. Just waiting for the confirmation before we send it here. Make sure we don't pull a fast one on us, and make sure that there's no trickery here from Patty Gasso. Base is now clear, 2 outs, and indeed Ali Carta will come out and hand the ball to Tegan Kavan. We'll talk a bit about her and continue on with this bottom of inning number 5. 7-2 Japan in the International Cup, presented by Mercy. Going to the bullpen, Team USA with its third pitcher of the game, and it's Tegan Cavan, to a Longhorn here in Oklahoma. Appeared in game 2, and you see the stat line there. 2 innings, gave up a handful of runs, and now bases clear after the 4-6-3 double play. The first one the elite team has turned here today, facing Kana Kudo here with 2 outs.
Kudo's speedy. Fortunately, able to turn that double play as the last couple outs that she would face in the circle. Now we got a new arm in there. Cavan going up against the speedster with nobody on.
Kudo has walked both times that she's been up there at the plate here tonight. Skips that one a little bit low. So pretty cool that you get the long-time tandem of pitcher and catcher. You've got Tegan Cavan and then her counterpart, Reese Atwood. Those two have won a lot of games together at the University of Texas, 2 straight Women's College World Series as well, and reunited in the red, white, and blue. That one flings its way on back. Mason, I'm waiting for a foul ball to come back here. I want one of us to have our moment.
Yeah, I mean, you better catch it because I'm not giving it to a kid, I can tell you that much.
Would you be the one that's going to get up there and go make the catch, or do I have to do it?
I think you're the athlete. I think you're the athlete of the family.
I could do it.
Yep, I believe it. You got that tall frame.
I'm the athlete of the crew.
Yeah, I would say so. I would say so. Speaking of crew, we got a great one here, don't we?
Sure do, as that one's tapped out to left field. Ranging back and making the catch is McKinney, and it ends the inning. So a nice, clean 5th inning for Team USA. You get the double play, and then Cavan comes in and retires the first batter that she faces. Through 5 here under the night skies in Oklahoma City, and it's time for the bats to get going for the U.S. Elite team. Down by 5, entering inning number 6. It's the International Cup presented by Mercy. We'll be right back. Top of the 6th inning on tap here in Devon Park, softball capital of the world in the International Cup, and Team Japan so far with a commanding 7-2 lead, and 6 more opportunities for Team USA Elite to try and lock up that number 1 spot here in Group A. Gonna have to make a comeback to do so, and the standings are finalized after our results from earlier today. You see included in there what the Elite squad did to American Samoa yesterday, but Samoa's squad earlier today got its first ever win in the International Cup, beating Chinese Taipei. Japan took care of business against that same Taipei squad, who goes 0-3. Australia loses to China. They go 0-3. Canada loses to the national team, but Canada wins earlier today as well. So Canada, that 2 seed in the Group B bracket. You've got a two-way tie right now between Japan and USA for the top spot in Group A. That will be decided here when this game comes to an end, but so far we've had a round robin's worth of games where everybody in their own individual groups has played each other, and you've got the teams that are kind of separating themselves from the pack.
And let's take a minute to talk about American Samoa here. Just a younger team, really young team. They got 9 players that are still in college, and then you got 3 of them who haven't even got that experience yet, just now coming out of high school. So for them to be able to play internationally is a win in and of itself, but for them to get a win against the Chinese Taipei team, that's really exciting for them. So bright future ahead.
Good foundation builder for that squad. Excited to see them compete over the next handful of years. And speaking of competing, Miyu Goto back out there again. She will throw her 100th pitch of this outing here in this inning. And she has not given up a run since the first inning. Set down a stretch of 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12 straight batters from the end of the first all the way until that last inning when Team USA was able to get a couple of runners on. Gonna need to compound that into some more base runners here in this inning and some more runs. Anna Gold will lead us off with Kendall Wells sitting there in the hole ready to go, and this will be the rest of this third time through the lineup. Gonna see if that can be, you know, that third time's the charm motto coming to life.
Something really interesting that I find, Ryan, is when we started this thing off, I said the go-to was going to go right at you. Not going to try to paint the corners, not going to try to be fancy, but it's been the outside pitches and extending that zone that has really brought her success.
Well, Exhibit A right there on her 98th pitch of the night. Now trying to go inside.
See, that's the thing, though. If Gold was a lefty, that's exactly where she's been throwing it all day.
Yes, it is. Goto won an Olympic gold medal when she was only 20 years old. Was a part of that roster then. Won the gold and now going after gold in the box.
Well done. Well said.
Anna in a 2-2 count. Good fight right there from the left side of the infield. Anna Gold starting at third base here today, was a shortstop yesterday.
Has been a little bit of a carousel in the infield, just mixing things up. The Duke product facing 2-2.
Makes contact on a one-hopper to second base, and the throw is in time for the first out. It's been a disciplined bunch out there in the field wearing red and black. Haven't given any free base runners or extra bases. Kendall Wells gonna see if she can find a way on. Wells had that sacrifice fly in the first inning to score the first run of the game and then struck out swinging in the fourth.
She did, and that was right after the monstrous inning that Japan had back in the fourth, so didn't have a lot of time to clear her head after being behind the plate. Gonna check swing here. Let's see the result. Gonna say she went.
It's not gonna be a favorite amongst the crowd, and so now 0-2. Let's take a look, and that's a pretty easy call there.
She definitely went. I think she's a little rattled in this game from back in that fourth inning and then striking out.
Wells watches a changeup that doesn't get the call. Kendall Wells had one of the best freshman seasons in NCAA softball history. Kind of got to duck out of the way of that one. Goes to Oklahoma from a small town in Georgia. And has become a household name in the softball world. Here's a 2-2. Wells skies one foul to the right side. And will plank back down towards the first row.
She's definitely loved in this park and in this state. She's a young player who's had a rough past couple innings, but she's going to be tearing up this field for years to come.
Here you go, Mason. Cover your eyes at the monitor. Kid's going to have to give the ball back.
Uh-oh, that's a catastrophe.
It's a bummer. 2-2. Wells, did she go? We're going to have a late appeal down, just, I guess, following what you're supposed to do. Very late, and
that's as close as it gets, Ryan.
that was the right call, though, and runs this thing full. Goto's 3-2 to Wells, who goes after that one and digs herself into strike 3. Those strikeouts starting to pile up now for Miyu Goto, her 5th one here of the night.
She set that up perfectly. Everything was outside during that at-bat, and then gets her with the high heat inside to jam her on a bit of a sword swing from Wells.
Pitch hitting number 29, Sierra Sacco.
So now we've got Sierra Sacco Ferry pinch hitting in this spot. Would have normally been Taylor Shoemaker, but instead we see the Mississippi State product down there in the Southeast Conference. Has 1 hit so far here in the International Cup. There's another strike that's way out there on the very edge of the zone.
Unfortunately, she's been there all night.
Going down and in, and kind of tried to sell that call as both Goto and Yamauchi both got up and started to head towards the dugout. Am I crazy for saying I didn't really feel like that was an obvious strike?
No, not at all. The Oscar goes to.
Well, not them, because they didn't sell the call. 1-2, and now that catch made to end the inning by Goto gives a little bit of a look over towards Sacco as well, and line out to the pitcher sends us to the bottom of the 6th inning. Team USA unable to score, going down 1-2-3. And a nice catch there from Goto. We'll see if Tegan Cavan can keep this thing where it is, because Team USA will have one more chance to go undefeated here in the International Cup group stage. Otherwise, it'll have a date set with the women's national team and inter squad tomorrow in the semifinal. It's the International Cup presented by Mercy.
Live for the bases loaded, for the full counts. Live for the away games, for the strikeouts. Live for the high fives, the pop flies, and the moonshots.
That's my girl.
There's my slugger.
Live for the big moments and the little ones. Live the game like never before.
I am a place that's built on tradition but thrives on momentum, where solid roots keep me grounded and big ideas push me higher, where the streets hum with energy, culture sparks connection, and we celebrate every win together. From the bright lights to the colorful walls, from the sound of progress to the quiet of wide open spaces. I am a place that finds its way into your spirit, your stories, your heart. They call me Oklahoma City, and I've saved you a front row seat.
Bottom of inning number 6 action here in Devon Park, the International Cup, presented by Mercy. Ryan Breeden and Mason Humphrey. Tegan Cavan in the circle. She will face the bottom and then the top of the lineup for Japan, who has scored 7 runs on 6 hits here in the ball game, 2 runs on 3 hits for Team USA. First pitch of the inning for Cavan is in there for a strike. Nice and true. Faced one batter in that last inning and was able to get a line out to left field. Got a pinch hitter here as well. Instead of Kiroji, it is Okawa. Mayu Okawa. And puts the ball in play. A slow dribble to the middle of the infield, and it kicks off of the thumb side of the glove of Garcia and leaks into center field for another leadoff base hit for Japan.
And in a game where this has really just been the story of the night, errors, things not going their way, Alina Garcia's fielding has really been one of the highlights. She's turned a couple double plays, or at least tried to. Right there, just gets off of her glove and not able to make the play, but just been that kind of night for Team USA.
Kind of has been. You've got a runner on top of the order, Ayani Nakagawa.
Next runner for Japan, number 10.
Got a pinch runner coming on here as well. First pitch to Nakagawa. Down and away. Has reached safely twice on 3 bases. Had a walk and a hit by pitch. Pops that one foul. Getting closer and closer to our window.
Yeah, that might be as close as it gets tonight. Almost hit our cameraman.
Good heads up over there.
Speaking of our cameramen, we got Joe, Dylan, Brandon, Trey, and Ray. Shout out to you guys for capturing this whole thing. Doing a good job.
Got all the angles. 1-1. That one down. Nakagawa in the JDL won the batting title back in 2025's campaign, meaning she had the highest batting average in the JDL. 396 on the season. Also led the league in home runs that year, so had 2 legs of the Triple Crown. Just did not lead the league in RBI. As a result of that, she was named league MVP. So she knows her way around the diamonds.
Yes, she's a slugger in the leadoff spot here for Japan.
3-1. Lifts that one into left field. A sky-scraping pop-up that is caught by McKinney. So there's the first out of the inning. And it's a nice bounce back from Kavan so far as well. That ERA that we showed from her, a 10.25 in that first game. Just kind of getting her feet wet in this international type of territory and looking really good, looking like the stud arm that she is there at Texas. One of the most unbeatable big game pitchers in the NCAA. Fujimoto trying to drop one down there and now down on the count instead. I mean, some of these stats from Tegan Kavan have just been absolutely outrageous in her college career, using that rise ball and drop ball, tunneling those together to just wreak havoc on opponents left and right. There's that drop ball there, gets away from Atwood and holds on to the throw as the runner heads over to second base. So heading in there safely.
And that's the discipline, that's the mental battle that Japan plays with. Showing bunt, pulling back, just that mental game causes that outside pitch to be wild, gives up a free base. I mean, this is the style of softball that they're trying to play.
So Karoji Ayana, she was pinch hit for and then re-entered back into the game as a runner. She's the one over there at second. Mentioning the stats of Tegan Kavan and what she has done with that pitch arsenal that she has. A career 2.24 ERA in 120 appearances. She has a 76-14 record and more strikeouts than she has innings pitched by over 60. 625 Ks and 566 innings. Back-to-back Women's College World Series MVP. And she may have 2 more years in college with that 5-for-5 rule. That's a terrifying thought. 5 years of Tegan Kavan. She may go down as one of, if not the most accomplished pitcher in the college game, considering the 3-year run that she's had already, and if there's 2 more on top of that.
She's an incredible Longhorn, that's for sure.
2-2 looked good up here, but didn't look so good down there, I guess, and it's a full count.
It sure did look good, and Atwood this whole tournament, any time that she's been behind the plate, has really been able to stick these calls.
Just maybe a bit down. I mean, that thing is as close as you can get. Full count pitch now, infield playing in, and a quick chopper to third, a quick throw to first, and safe is the call. That's just an annoying result for the red, white, and blue.
Annoying is exactly right, Ryan. That is just, look at this. It goes about 6 feet in front of her, and that is way more annoying than if they were just to crush home runs over the wall. I mean, it feels like, okay, you got me. You hit a home run. But whenever it's stuff like that forces miscommunication, you might start having teams start pointing fingers at each other saying, oh, I thought you were going to get it. I mean, this is really impressive and just disciplined softball.
Now, Anna Gold really took charge in that whole exchange, darting in from third and making a quick glove-to-hand transition, but still did not have enough time. So Fujimoto has her first hit of the game, meaning that now, with her getting on base, every single player in the lineup except for one for Japan, that being a Kimura in the 7th spot, everyone has gotten on base safely at least one time.
That's the name of their game. Here, let's take a look and just think about how Urawa just got on first base right there. She worked the count. She used her size. She stayed disciplined, fouled some back. I mean, just mentally, you have to take it pitch by pitch against Japan, and they're willing to sit through that.
Got a pinch hitter here as well, Yamato Fujita in for Ishikawa. That one dropped by Kavan. She's going to hold on to the ball as taking off for second base without a throw. Fujimoto is in scoring position now. Gets rid of the double play ball. Keep in mind with our international rules, 7 runs after 5. So if that run on second scores, as well as that runner on third, Japan would lock this game up in 6 innings. So you can't let that runner score. All hands on deck to keep that from happening. So you've got the infield playing in for a potential play at the plate. You want to give your offense one more opportunity to come alive. Kavan with 2 strikes in the pocket. Can she pick up the third? That one zipped out to center field, goes over the head all the way to the wall. Here comes one run to score. Here comes the second one as well. No throw in, and that should be it. 9-2 our score, and Japan, in run rule fashion, has won here in the final game of group play. So a 2 RBI single from Ishikawa, or actually from Yamamoto coming in to hit, ends the ball game, and Japan has locked up the title for Group A as the winner of the group, meaning the Team USA Elite Squad will have an inter-squad game in the semifinal against the women's national team. So we'll have that for you guys tomorrow. Japan will take on Canada, and the winner of those 2 matchups will play against each other in the International Cup Championship game on Monday. So again, final score in 6 innings, Japan 9, U.S. Women's Elite 2. Just kind of a shocking turn of events for how this game started, Mason.
Just making them slowly but surely pay. The first inning put up 2 runs, then 0, and then 3, 2, and 2. After that, just chipping away, staying consistent. Man, what a showing that was by the best softball team in the world.
That's why they have the world #1, and they'll get to potentially have a date with one of these U.S. teams once again in the championship round, assuming that they get past Canada tomorrow. And it'll be, again, U.S. Elite versus U.S. Women's National Team right here in Devon Park in the semifinal round of this International Cup. That's it for this ball game here tonight. Again, shout out to Warren for running the crew back there. Seth with the graphics. our entire crew as well. Got some shout-outs. Mason, you would give some more shout-outs
Yeah,
for
we got
us?
Calvin on replay, and don't think we're getting out of here without talking about this camera crew. They've been doing a great job. We got Joe, Dylan, Brandon, Trey, and Ray holding it down on the Sonys, capturing this whole thing.
For analyst Mason Humphrey, I am Ryan Breeden saying so long from Oklahoma City. Final score one last time, Japan 9, U.S. Women's Elite 2 in 6 innings of play. All USA games for the International Cup presented by Mercy, airing on ESPN Network, streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN. We'll see you guys tomorrow in the knockout stage.